What's up, everybody? Welcome to VGU.TV's PlayStation podcast, the DualShock Show, where we only talk about everything PlayStation. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Mobley, alongside, as always, Thomas Freeman.
Beyond.
Come on.
God damn it.
Trying to kill me. Killing me over here. And Alan Muir.
Time for some news.
And special guest star Nate Hall.
So,
he knows. He knows. It's like, that's not our podcast, guys. I don't want Greg Miller. I don't want Greg Miller of IGN to be on the YouTubes or just browsing the iTunes, finds our fledgling PlayStation podcast, because that's what he does in his spare time. And it's like, hey, this ain't cool.
One-star reviewers.
This is my thing. I say beyond. So, listeners, we start every show with a segment called What Have You Been Playing? And we're going to start with Nate, since you're a special guest star. Nate, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, man. Well, sadly, I've not been playing much in the way of PS3 games, but I have been, experimenting a lot with getting a lot of Steam deals. I picked up Mirror's Edge, because I just after reading Josh's article, I was like, God, I gotta play this game again. And it just
I'm not a huge fan of Mirror's Edge. I did finally finish it, and I was like, it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, I played it a long time ago, and then I happened to see it was on sale for like $5. I was like, what the heck, I'll play through it again. So I'm playing through that. I'm actually re-downloading DCU online for PS3, so I'm going to play that, but it's taking freaking forever.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
It's like
Yeah,
16
we can play that
gigabytes.
together.
Yeah,
the last time I downloaded that, I had to wait through the initial download, the install, and then I had to wait for the game itself to download. And that's my PlayStation was on for 36 hours.
Yeah, no joke. I've already been downloading for an hour and a half, and it's not even 1/3 of the way done. So, yeah. But, I mean, I've been reading a lot of articles about it, and, I just been kind of getting a hankering to play it again. So, I'll make the sacrifice of having to wait for whatever the hell long I have to wait. But yeah, that's what I'm playing.
And you could be a Green Lantern.
I have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, there's also the fact that Injustice is coming out next week. I've just been having a real, DC sort of craving.
Injustice looks very, very good. I'm very excited for it.
I've actually been playing the iOS mobile game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all right.
Like,
I'm mainly playing it because if you play it, you can unlock stuff in the retail game. So, I mean, it's not exactly, a compelling, iOS game.
Right.
But, no, hey, it's kind of fun.
What iOS game is, really.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I'm playing.
Awesome. What about you, Alan? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I went to GameStop a few days ago.
Ooh.
Traded in some games. And got
some of the games that you're like, these are breaking my PS.
Yeah, the ones that made your PS3 ill.
Yeah. Hey, Game of Thrones got here yesterday.
A quick side note before we forget. My girlfriend listens to this to the show. She is pretty much one of our only listeners. But she made a comment the other day that made me laugh really, really hard. I can't remember. I think it was the Game of Thrones game that you got. Alan. You got the Game of Thrones game in, and she says. I tell her that. I say, Alan just got Game of Thrones. Jesus Christ. And she goes, his PS3 is going to be even more sick. And it just made me laugh so much because that was such an inside joke for a listener. And it just did my heart good to know that, someone's listening. Oh. There's a bee in my house. There's a bee in my house!
It's fine. You got your guard dog. It'll get it. So what else you trade in?
Alan, go ahead.
I traded in a bunch of good games for some games that...
Oh, come on now. You're killing me.
First, I picked up Borderlands 2.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
Almost at level 8.
Level 8. That's good. Listeners, that means that pretty soon you may be seeing some live streams or VGU plays of Borderlands 2, because it's been a very long time since Josh Mobley and James Pangello and I have picked it up. But I'd like to get back to it. We're all level 9 or 10. I believe. So it would be nice to have you join us and have a fourth player and whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I've been playing as the Siren, seeing how that is.
Yeah.
And not that bad.
I've never played as a Siren. I hear that it's very fun. I have a friend that that loves it. I've played as all the others. I mean, except for the Necromancer. But I enjoy it. I like that. I like that game. It's just very easy to fall out of if you're playing it alone. So I love being able to play it with friends. So we gotta talk to Josh Mobley and say, hey, let's get up on that Borderlands.
Yeah, because people definitely loved watching our Uncharted 3 live stream.
It was literally 4 viewers. It was the 3 of us that were playing and Zach.
And Matt basically just talking like a Dexter's Lab character.
Magnanimous.
Yeah.
Shut up. I remember when I was a child, I used to sleep. Oh, man. It's just silly. Go on.
Yes.
Go on, Alan. What else did you get?
I also got Bioshock 1 and 2 to get the combo pack with all the DLC released for both games.
Oh, that's very nice.
Oh, yeah.
And as I mentioned when you mentioned this beforehand, you really don't need to play 2.
I think it's underrated. I know it's nowhere near as good as Bioshock 1, but I think gameplay-wise, I think it's better.
I mean, don't misunderstand me. I don't think that 2 is a bad game. It's just not great. You know, it's
good.
A lot of people complained. Like I've seen a few reviews for Bioshock Infinite where they're like, the padding in the middle is kind of ridiculous. It's nowhere near as bad as the padding in Bioshock 2.
Oh, it's got that you have to defend these little sisters.
Yeah, that's the part. That's something
it really sucks. Yeah.
It's not like that at all.
In an average Bioshock 2 level, it pretty much goes like this. You're like, okay, you go into your start menu, you start up the level, and you go into your start menu and you say, okay, there are 3 little sisters in this level. That means that there are 3 big daddies that I gotta fight, 6 gathers to do, and then I gotta fight 1 big sister, find like 15 to 20 audio diaries, and then I gotta do all the stuff that I actually have to do in the level.
Yippee!
So it's a little bit of a pain. Like the first time that you play it, you're like, oh, you know what? It's great being back in Rapture. But after, you're done, you're just like, eh.
I'll agree. I mean, I remember, Matt, you made an analogy a while ago. You said, like, with the first Bioshock, like, you just couldn't stop playing it. Like, it was that good. But then, like, with Bioshock 2, like, you play it for a while, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm done. Got to step away for a while. I definitely got that feeling. I'd say Bioshock 2 is worth playing at least once, but I agree when I say it definitely doesn't have that same sort of, addicting, I gotta play one more level, that the first Bioshock did.
Yeah. What else did I say? I said that it was like, when you play a level of Bioshock 2, what should feel like an hour-long level gets dragged out to like 3 to 4 hours because of all the shit that you have to do.
Yeah.
So when you finally finish a level, like Nate said, I said that you don't want to stop playing the first one or Infinite, but with the second one, after you finish one level, you've done so much. You're like, I don't want to play this anymore. I've done so much, but really, I've seriously accomplished so little.
But in their defense, they had to come up with something they had to try to come up with something as good as one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't help that Ken Levine was not on that one.
No.
Well, it's an entirely different studio. It's 2K Marin.
Yeah. 2K Marin.
Who's now doing XCOM.
Yeah.
So that would be fun.
Yeah.
Wonder how many big daddies I'm going to fight in that one.
That would be cool.
Just reuse models, just like paint a face.
That would be cool
it.
if there was like a patch to like 5 big daddies in there though. Go on, Alan. I'm sorry, I keep stepping on your toes, but this is since we've already referenced it twice. This is a conversation podcast, so
And the last game I picked up, Fallout 3.
Yes.
Fallout 3.
Classic.
I'm also not a fan of Fallout 3, but I'm also not a fan of like Bethesda in general.
Or the best games this generation.
When I was thinking about which games made me feel like a lot, because Bioshock Infinite made me, like I said, I almost cried at the end of it.
It's very good.
Fallout 3 was the last game to make me just have
emotions.
Yeah.
All the feels.
Yeah, it was just a feeling fest.
Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I was going to say a quick side note about Bioshock Infinite's ending, which I won't spoil, because I know the time.
Please don't.
I won't spoil. But a friend of mine just finished it last night, and she was texting me at 4 in the fucking morning, going, "Oh my god, I don't know how to react to any of this." So, that was fun. I was like, "Tell me how you really feel." But yes, it's always good to find a game that makes you feel. I think that if a game can make you cry, then that's a testament to how good the story is.
Metal Gear Solid
or
3.
How bad the gameplay is. If I may, before we move on to PlayStation Plus, we'll finish this section first, but I think I'd like to talk about which games have made us cry. But first, let's finish up what we've been playing. Sound good?
Sounds
Yeah.
lovely.
Okay. All right. Alan, did you play anything else while you were at it?
No, that's it.
That's it? All right. Tom, it's up to you.
Well, I've not actually played anything this week because I got a lot going on, packing, moving back to university, all good fun. But I did just watch the Dark Souls 2 gameplay,
Okay.
so I can talk. I took a few notes, so I can talk about that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
yeah. So I'm a
Let's go
big
ahead and do that now.
yeah. So I'm a big fan of like Demon Dark Souls, and I don't think
are like
anyone
the only
else
one.
is.
I kind of like Dark Souls too. I haven't played that much, but I'm having a sordid love affair with it. Like I'll play it for a bit, and then I'll get frustrated with it, and I'll uninstall it, and then I'll miss it, and I'll reinstall, and I'll play it again. So yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
Josh Mobley it's Demon Souls that we got for free last week, right?
Yes.
Josh Mobley downloaded Demon Souls and did a live stream for a little while. He said, "Man, this is really hard," and deleted it like 2 days later.
Oh.
Then he did but what was funny was that I think it was the next day or a couple days after, he did a live stream of Bioshock Infinite's 1999 mode, which, if anybody doesn't know, it's the hardest mode. It's basically like very hard mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, you're just a glutton for punishment." And he goes, "Yeah, I died in the first battle." Pretty bad.
But no, I think they're really great games. But Dark Souls 2, so I knew some new things in the game. There's now torches, so as in like set my bit of wood on fire and see in the dark kind of torch.
Mm.
There's cloth physics, if you like that sort of thing.
I thought you actually
yeah.
said tortures, as in this game is going to be a torture to everyone who plays it.
That probably will be as well.
I actually did think that he said that.
Oh, sorry, yeah, torches, sorry.
Oh,
But we'll see bonfires again, the checkpoint systems, which Demon Souls didn't have. So Demon Souls was, you died near the end of the level, tough, you got to start the whole level again.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
during Josh's live stream. That's exactly what he was going on and on about. Every single time he left to go like to the Nexus or something,
Yeah.
he'd come back. Oh, I have to fight everyone again.
Yeah, all the enemies are back.
Nothing you
So-
did, not a single thing you did mattered.
So yeah, Dark Souls is smart with that. There's a lot of shortcuts, and now you can checkpoint out the bonfires. It's still the open level design, but it wasn't stated whether it would be an open world like Dark Souls. So hopefully it will be. But there's a lot more set pieces in this from the gameplay they showed, but that could just be like a highlight reel. because there's a few set pieces in Dark Souls, but enemies can break through walls now, but whether they're set pieces or not, that did happen a couple of times, and the director of the game was there saying it could happen. Let's see. So Estus Flasks are back. They're the kind of healing items that replenish every time you rest. Add little bonfires. The story's going to be really convoluted and hidden like it is in the past games, so you can only get the story if you pay attention to item descriptions and stuff like that, rather than telling you outright with cutscenes, etc. Which, I don't know. Some people would like it, but I've never cared about the stories just because it's way too much work to actually figure out what's going on. Let's see, what else? There's a new lighting engine, but textures seem kind of off. I mean, the game looks better overall, but it looks like there's less effort. But I'm not sure whether this is the final build of the game, because, yeah, it's just the first gameplay we've seen of it. Let's see. There's I don't know. It looks pretty similar. It definitely looks Dark Souls, but it does look a lot more actiony, and I think it will appeal to a wider audience, though, because they've like if you start Dark Souls, I mean Nate can attest to this, but like if you have no idea what's going on, like the items and stuff at the very beginning, there's nothing. I mean, there's a tutorial area with like 3 little tips that come up on the screen, but nothing that explains how to do things, what the stats affect, etc. So that's about it. You should really watch the trailer though. I mean, there's dragon bridges are back. So there's always like a bridge, like in Demon Souls there's a bridge, a dragon come over and kill you. Same with Dark Souls, and in this game there's like in the gameplay showed this tiny rickety bridge to this mountain with a castle and loads of dragons flying around. And this man just walks over and the dragon just rips up the bridge and he dies. It's like, wow.
There was a GIF that we posted a little earlier.
The chariot.
The chariot running over the character.
It's just this hallway, and there's in the gameplay it just shows hallway, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and then it's just a man with a chariot just comes and squashes them. So it's like, oh.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, yeah, fuck a bunch of that.
The cool thing you can notice from watching that is the character actually looks behind him, which wouldn't have happened in previous games. So while he's running, he's looking behind him. I think it's more because he's locked onto him, but I thought it's a nice touch. But yeah, no, I've not played anything this week. So, but yeah, Dark Souls 2 is looking good.
Thank you for that. I haven't played a whole lot myself because, as you guys know, I've got a stack of games I've never finished. Trying to kind of focus on them and finish them up. So, I slid in Uncharted 3 the other day for a live stream. We did an Uncharted 3 live stream, and that was fun. Like Alan mentioned. Excuse me. I downloaded Just Cause 2. I bought it a couple weeks ago during the Square Enix sale, and I didn't have enough room, but I deleted Saints Row 2 again because how can you go back after Saints Row the Third? I play a little Just Cause 2. It's a lot of fun. I really like the grappling hook. But mostly this week I've been focusing on Spec Ops: The Line, which I actually just finished literally not even an hour ago. So it's a very good game. I really enjoyed it.
Very good.
I loved it to death, and I think it's severely underrated, and I think that people should go play it. Like, I don't think it's free anymore. But
not necessarily underrated as much as it got lost. Lost in the shuffle of everything.
Yeah.
And I think their marketing as well, because it has that big ending, but they market it as generic shooter 9000 instead of something unique.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it really looks like it's just a Call of Duty clone, but it's so much more than that. It's so good, and I recommend any of you listeners to play it. It's very, very cerebral. It's it's just very deep, and I like it a lot. I'm actually gonna try and clean up a few more trophies before I shelve it and move on to the next game, which I'm thinking. Oh man, I don't even know. Probably Hitman Absolution. I gotta finish that.
Resident Evil 5.
That's true. We gotta work on that. But I mean, in my spare time. Probably Hitman Absolution and a little Just Cause 2. I really gotta get back to Peace Walker as well, and at least do Chapter 2. Anyhow, guys, that's what have you been playing. So, like I said, before we go to the PlayStation Store updates, I want to talk about, real quick, what games have made us cry. Let's not go too much into spoilers, kind of dance around them.
All right.
But let's go around the room, and we'll figure it out. Nate, why don't you start us off?
He's gone.
It's like, I'm out of here.
I'd say Alan goes first.
Yeah,
Right, Alan, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice that he was gone yet. I was eating a sandwich, so
It's a shame.
I was in the other room. But okay, Alan, why don't you start? Kick it off then.
Mass Effect 3 on so many levels.
Ending.
Not the ending.
You're like,
I know, I had to make that cheap joke.
Not the ending, because the ending is a piece of shit.
Exactly.
But just the general feeling that this is the end for like a lot of the characters,
Yeah.
and that we'd never be seeing them again. And
What I didn't like about the Mass Effect 3 bit, sorry to cut you off, there's a bit, like, kind of near the end, the last chapter, and it's just like, oh, let's talk to everyone I've ever met down this, like, little phone call system.
or basically everyone who's not there.
Yeah, exactly. So many people. It's like,
I thought Earth was under attack. How is this even possible?
exactly, and it's just like, oh, hey, like, how's it going now? I'm probably about to die. All right, okay, bye. And it's like, and you do that with all these characters. It goes on for, like, ages. I thought it was really dumb. But yeah, carry on.
But specifically, what happens with Morden Just-
yes,
broke my heart.
that is a very tough thing to go through. I kind of shed a tear there too. I'll agree with you on that.
He's working on my catalyst. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or whatever what's it called? In that game.
I want to play Mass Effect so badly, but I got so many other games I got to finish. Damn it!
And the assassin, what's his name?
I can't. The Drell guy.
Kai Lang?
No, the fish guy.
That's very.
The fish guy.
Yeah, that's a very demeaning. Call him just a fish guy.
Jesus.
Oh, he was a fish.
Jesus, now that I could have told you any time before you asked. I know. I think it starts with a T.
Krios.
Thane Krios. That's right.
Yeah.
Everything with him, like what happens with him and his son, was just so sad, and like the part where can we really spoil some stuff because it's been a year.
If you haven't
Spoilers.
played if you haven't played Mass Effect 3 yet,
It's a
cover your
very
ears.
early spoiler.
Cover your ears. It's well, I mean, there are some people that haven't played any
Yeah.
Mass Effects. Like I said, my girlfriend plays the game, or my girlfriend listens to the podcast. She hasn't gotten to play Mass
That's
Effect
what I
at
mean.
all.
As long as you shout spoiler, just skip ahead 30 seconds.
So, for her specifically, I'd say cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. Anyone else that's listening and is like, man, I haven't played Mass Effect or Mass Effect 3 yet, don't listen. Cover your ears if you don't want to get spoiled. Go ahead. we've put up enough warnings. Spoilers.
Basically, when they're praying not only for Thane but for Shepard.
Mm-hmm. That is a very touching moment.
It also made me realize that things are not going to end well.
Aw.
No. And of course, while we're not dancing around spoilers right now, Morden's death is also a very tough. We were dancing around it earlier, but all the stuff with Morden, but especially his death when he's singing the song.
I've got a separate Cerberus character loaded up, and there's a way you can get Morden to survive and get the Krogan and Solarian support. Oh,
Yeah.
That was cool. Because you can talk to him at the end. He's like, yeah, Shepard, shit's good down there.
It's all cool.
And he goes, yeah, right decision. You were right. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Man, what would have happened if you didn't talk me out of that?
That's what it's like. He's like, yeah, Krogan suck. Like, yeah.
I'd say that's end spoilers for Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
So, Alan, were there any others? Any notable ones?
In Mass Effect 3?
Oh, not in Mass Effect, but the other games that have made you tear up.
Oh, everything with the dad in Fallout 3.
I haven't played Fallout 3, but I'm not planning to. I fired it up twice on 2 separate occasions. Couldn't get into it. So, if you want to spoil Fallout 3 spoilers, spoilers. This game came out like 3 years ago. So
No,
4.
It came out 5 years ago, or almost 5 years ago.
Really? Came out that long?
Came out in 08.
Huh.
Practically everyone has played
came out 5 years ago. Spoilers, this game came out 5 years ago. Go ahead.
So basically, as with Fallout 3, you're growing up and you're like going through different times in the vault with your father.
Mm-hmm.
And you're building the relationship up. And when you finally find him, and it's as if right as you get him back, he's immediately taken away.
Yeah.
By the bad guys.
Mm.
He becomes a microwave meal.
It's very sad. Or at least it sounds like it. So
it is, because I mean it's Liam Neeson's.
It is too. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Well,
Taken 2.
Taken 2.
The Gray.
Starring the incomparable Liam Neeson's. God, I love
Liam Neeson was in the third season premiere of Miami Vice. Just some trivia.
Mm.
He played one of the female agents' love interests. He was kind of he seemed like he was a good guy until it turned out he was kind of like a drug dealer or a gun merchant or something like that.
That's all it was with Miami Vice. You're either a drug dealer or a gun runner. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Add some
and
diversity.
nobody ever survives. like these days, you see a cop drama, and they'll bring him in. It'll be this whole long drawn out thing, and they'll bring him in. In the 80s, in an 80s cop drama, none of the bad guys ever survive. They always die in a fiery explosion by the end of the episode.
And with some very uplifting music, like rock and roll music, to just try to point the point that they're bad, and you know what? They're dead.
Occasionally, there's an episode where they're like, I want to be able to save you. We can bring you in. We can rehabilitate you. And then they blow up, and then it's just this very sad oh man, I tried so hard.
Time for some math.
Now we're talking about Breaking Bad, Alan. But enough about 80s crime dramas.
Which came out of absolutely nowhere.
Sorry, we were talking about Liam Neeson. And
incomparable Liam Neeson.
I've seen that episode twice. It's actually a very good episode, so I thought I'd bring out a little trivia. Anyway, go on. What
But-
else?
Your as I was saying, your mother dies in childbirth, and your father's pretty much the only family you have left,
Yeah.
and he's just taken away from you as if you're nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they just end it there. You do end up getting hardcore revenge and making them all the bad guys wish they were in the Star Wars universe, where like they'd just be placed under arrest by the Galactic Republic.
They might lose an arm, but that's about it.
They might lose an arm or some other limb. They might lose an ear.
Yeah.
But after, like I remember very vividly, it was Super Bowl. It was actually during the Super Bowl that I was playing Fallout 3.
Yes.
Because who cares about the Super Bowl? Who cares, really? I
Commercials.
There's a mob that's forming outside your house, I'm sure.
well, bring it. Damn it, Tom! I lost where it was.
Super Bowl.
So you
Super
played it
Bowl.
during Super Bowl?
Yes. When I finished it, I immediately thought, "There's got to be a way I can save him." And I'm like, and I realized 5 years later, man, you're such an idiot.
Because you can't?
You can't.
I haven't played it.
Of course you can, you just don't progress the story. Easy.
There you
Just
go.
go wandering for the rest of your days.
There you go. I think that's end spoilers for Fallout 3.
Yeah.
We were trying not to do spoilers.
It was a bit hard when you talk about emotional moments, to be fair.
That's true. I have a few that I won't be able to discuss because, like I said, my girlfriend listens to the podcast. There are at least 2 games that have made me cry that I really want her to play, but I don't want her to get spoiled on.
Can you at least name the games?
I can name the games. Infamous 2. Evil Ending. Because there's something that they make you do. Like, that they put the control back in your hands, and they make you do that I was just a mess. I don't know who else has played Infamous 2 Evil Story, but if they have, then they probably know what I'm talking about. Also, the other game is Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
I have not finished that game specifically because of the reason you're about to say,
Like,
or not going to say.
I'm not gonna. But I will say this much without spoiling it. It didn't hit me until I did the extra Strangers mission.
Yeah, with the terrible voice actor, yeah.
But it was like, because, they, without spoiling anything, they give you a chance, but fruitless. And it doesn't really hit me until, credits roll and I'm like, oh my god, it's real. And I was just so sad. Other games that I can spoil, that aren't actually PlayStation games anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Gears of War 2 and 3, both Dom Santiago related. 2, of course, when he finds Maria, and 3 when Dom sacrifices himself. Those are 2 parts that I lost my shit. I would also say, I'm looking at my shelf now, trying to. Metal Gear Solid 3 kind of made me misty-eyed.
Kind of.
I mean, it did make me misty-eyed. I was very sad, especially when she's laying there and they put the control back in your hands, and you're like,
shit. What happens if I press square? Don't press square.
you're like, don't make me do this, please. But you have to.
And then all the saluting and teary eyes. Press R1 to look through Snake's eyes. Oh, he can't see shit because he's crying and he's the biggest man ever. So
yeah, big boss.
big baby. Gee.
But I think that's all that's come to my mind. Nate, what about you? Now that you're back, I tried to get you to start off, but I didn't see that you'd left.
Sorry about that.
So the others were like, "He's fucking gone, you asshole."
Nate, where are you? Where are you?
Nate! Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, I'm back. Sorry. I don't think I've ever. Okay. So movies have made me cry. I'm not disputing that.
Lots of movies have made me cry too.
Yes.
But
I don't think I've ever cried during a game. I've definitely come close. I think the Red Dead ending definitely, tore me up inside a bit. Bioshock Infinite, definitely the ending. It's not really too tragic, but there was definitely elements of it that made me like, oh wow, that sucks.
The thing about Bioshock Infinite's ending, I think, is that it's just so deep and there's so much to process in that ending. I literally said, my friend finished it last night, and when before she'd actually finished it, because she texted me a plot point after the last battle. And I was like, okay, so basically the game is leading you towards the ending at this point. I said, you have 5 to 10 minutes left at the most. And you'll be surprised what kind of shit shit you can learn in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
Because they cram so much in there, and it's so much to process that once the credits roll, you're like, oh my god, what? You just want to sit and hold yourself and cry and whatnot. It's very good. Please, go on.
But yeah, other than that, I've definitely felt really strong, emotional responses to games. My brother who's played the Walking Dead Telltale games, I actually haven't played them yet, but he told me those legit, make him break down and cry.
I did that too. Yeah, I cried at the end. I was like,
and I assume at some point I'll get around to playing them, and I assume when I do, I'll probably end up crying too. So
it's very, very good.
That's about it.
That's about it. What about you, Tom?
I'd say Half-Life 2, Episode 2, the end of that.
I already knew what happened, so I didn't cry, but I was like, oh.
I had no idea what was happening. I didn't cry, but I was just, when I finished that, after that happened and the credits roll and you can hear the sobbing, I was just sat stunned, wow, I'm so depressing, and it's just ended on that. And then they haven't even made it better. So.
Yeah.
No conclusion to that yet. We hope. Heavy Rain. Actually, at the very start, when you lose a kid in the mall.
Oh yeah.
I had such horrible stinking feeling.
Heavy Rain came out 3 years ago. But
it's the very beginning. I'm not going to spoil what happens to the kid.
It's the very beginning.
Yeah, that whole game is pretty emotionally draining.
It is. Not a lot of happy things happen.
By the end of that game, I was like, oh. My God,
that sucks.
I just remember losing that kid in the mall the first time I played it, and I had a horrible gut feeling. I was like, oh god, I can see what's going to happen now. I was like, oh no.
If you think that Rain is emotionally draining the first time, that was my first platinum, and I actually checked the timestamp a long time ago because I was telling my girlfriend the time and date that I got my very first platinum Heavy Rain, which was actually on her birthday 3 years ago. So, ironically. But it was at 8 o'clock in the morning. Because I stayed up all night jumping between chapters trying to get the last few trophies and all the endings. Imagine how emotionally draining it is after you've played it that much and gotten all 10 endings. And you're just like, oh my god.
Did you buy the DLC for that game?
I did buy the DLC
for that game?
I did.
I bought the DLC for that game, and it was just it was good, but it was this was not worth my money.
Well, yeah, exactly. It was the E3 tech demo, and you end up chainsawing the guy's dick, and then it ends okay.
Yeah, and it's man, that you should have. if there had been more of those, that so would have been worth it.
It was meant to be Chronicles, but they stopped development on them because of the Move version, which is a joke.
Yeah. But yeah, after I finished Heavy Rain and finally got that platinum, I was like, I gotta sell this game because I can't play this.
Look at it.
I can't play this again. Like, it's just, I know everything. I know what to do. I know everything that there is to do. First time I played it, obviously, I was just like, just let it happen. But like, after everything happened, I was just like, oh man, I can't do this again.
Uncharted 2, near the end of that game, a certain character gets injured, and
yes,
that was a bit heart-wrenching when that happened.
Because we love that character.
Exactly, and finally Duke Nukem.
Because it was so bad.
Very emotional, but I was crying with laughter at a level called Duke Nukem's Titty City, in which a boss knocks you out, and it's so crude. It's unreal. Like, the level opens up with this girl going, "I'm hungry, and you need to wrap your willy," and like, what? And it gives you like your mission objective, like find food, find a vibrator, and find a condom. It's like, wow, and that's your mission.
Man, you've come a long way,
and it doesn't get much better. That mission is awful. I don't know, it's hilarious, but I recommend everyone buy that game.
I don't.
It's gaming history. It needs to be played, and it's dead cheap. Buy it.
It really is dirt cheap.
It is. That's why.
The only thing you'll waste is your time.
It's like, this is less than a Subway. I mean, I might as well just buy it. And it was amazing. It was so worth it.
Oh my god. Listeners, don't listen to him. Don't get Duke Nukem Forever.
It's just YouTube video. You need to. That's everyone's homework for this week. YouTube Duke Nukem's Titty City.
Oh Jesus!
Amazing level. The epitome of level design and game design.
Are there any more before?
I'd say on the side of emotional, but not really like the same. Is the end of the original Fear game. If anyone's played that.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's so you think it's all over and it like cuts to credits and then it shows you back in this helicopter and then the creepy crawling girl starts crawling on the helicopter and it cuts to black straight away. So like, did I really see that? Oh my god, no.
And then they had the DLC, which like picked up right after that moment, which kind of killed the.
Oh, I didn't get the DLC for that.
Yeah, one of the DLCs. It's the aftermath, like epilogue chapter. So it turns out, oh, by the way, you survived the helicopter crash, and now you have to go do this other crap. So
that's boring. No.
Yeah. Again, it kind of killed the whole,
Yeah, I don't think the PS3 got the DLC because I got Fear on the PS3 for shame. I know. But, that's it.
I'm looking through my gaming list on the PlayStation.
Ooh, Sly 2.
Sly 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was hardly a happy ending for a kids game.
Oh man, that was rough because everybody loves that character.
What was he expecting it?
You're like, what?
Like,
no!
I thought it was a kids game.
I'm looking past some Walking Dead. Sleeping Dogs got really close. Nate probably knows what I'm talking about because he reviewed it. You can find that review if you're still curious about Sleeping Dogs up on VGU.TV. But the most I'll say, because it's still fairly recent. It was like last year, wasn't it? Or was it the year before?
Like at least yeah,
I think it was last year.
I'm pretty sure it's last year.
I think it was last August or September.
Yeah, it came out
Jackie.
in August.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, I was.
Sucked.
Oh, and the wedding.
Oh my god, dude! I'll admit I didn't. I'm not gonna say anything, but I didn't see it coming.
Because I was just like, she wasn't a part of this. Why?
Collateral damage, man. Like that shit sucks.
So people who read literature, Red Wedding. That's all I'm gonna say. That sums it up perfectly.
Yeah. Oh man,
Journey
I totally
got-
forgot about that. But yeah, that's definitely one of the most hard hitting parts of that game. Just
Oh
like,
my god, I really want to play that game again because it's so good.
yeah.
Listeners, please buy Sleeping Dogs. It's so good.
I thought you were gonna
Um,
say, please
have
buy
you
it for
played-
me.
Have you played The Darkness, anyone?
Yeah, I played the
I have.
Darkness.
Oh
And
yeah. Oh my god.
The
yeah.
first Darkness. Oh yeah, I know of it.
If
I
it,
know
oh,
of it.
you want a
I've seen that
depressing game.
scene. I've seen that scene. It's rough.
Yeah.
Like,
God.
here's the intro to the game. Like, oh, well, you see, it's not really a spoiler, no one played it, but there's a,
No one played it.
it's your girlfriend being murdered right in front of you, and you've
Like behind a locked door, so you
like
can't do it.
yeah, she obviously, has feelings for you, and obviously have feelings for her, but you never,
Because in the beginning of the game, you had this whole like touching scene where like you're sitting with her on a couch.
yeah, you can watch.
Yeah, and, like you can literally watch. What is it? To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you can literally watch the entire movie with
Yeah,
her.
exactly. And then she bakes your cake and all this stuff. And anyway, later through the game, well, I say later, about 20 minutes later, you end up with, you see this mob boss, and he just kills your girlfriend in the other room. You can't do anything because a weird demon is stopping you, and your character just kills himself. So like, oh.
Oh man, it's very rough. Journey game came close to making me cry. No idea why. It's just it's one of those games. Like once you're done, you're like, it's so beautiful. And I think that's it that I know of. Spec Ops made me sad, but I didn't cry. I wanted to. Okay, I think we're done. Unless there's any others that we've forgotten.
Superman 64 made me cry.
I mean, for obvious reasons. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the store updates. PlayStation Plus deals. Alan, why don't you
Yes.
start us off?
So we got Labyrinth Legends for free, which that's about all I know about that game, because we got it for free.
What? I don't know what it is.
We got Anarchy Reigns for about $29.99. John Daly's Pro Stroke Golf for $14.99. Tom Clancy's Hawks with an X for $19.99. XCOM Enemy Unknown for about $39.99.
Oh.
The next is actually very interesting. The Borderlands bundle, which gives you Borderlands 1 and 2 for about $30.
Which isn't bad. Borderlands 1 is a great game. Borderlands 2 is a great game. I platinumed Borderlands 1. I don't know if I'm going to platinum the second one.
I need to platinum the first.
It's very good.
It's just hard to play.
It's very hard to play, especially by yourself. It's a good game. It's just hard to play. Go on. I'm sorry.
Next up is Guacamelee.
Which I hear is very, very good.
Yeah,
Reviews.
you can get it for $14.99 and get the PS, or you can get the Vita version for free as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And next is Fatal Frame for $9.99.
Fatal Frame? What?
Yeah, as soon as I saw that in the store, I was like, Matt's gonna be happy.
Fatal Frame is a very good game. I think I mentioned it on like top 5 Ghost games. I think last Halloween. That article is probably somewhere up on VGU.TV. Fatal Frame is a great game, but it's up on the store for $9.99 as PS2 Classic, which is much cheaper than I ever paid for it on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Because I found all 3 of them at a GameStop one day, and I was like, oh, I'm picking this shit up now. And I bought all 3 and spent $90 that day.
Oh boy.
Because those games were all still $30. Because the hard copies are really rare. Fatal Frame is a very good game. It's a very tense and very scary game. Like, it's one of those, like, easy scare, not like the jump scares. It's just, like, it tenses you up so much that, like, you're very alert. Like, I remember watching a video of a guy playing, I think it was Fatal Frame 2, and he's walking through a room, and he's like, and you know, you can hear his commentary. He's like, "Oh my God, oh Jesus, oh God, oh God." And he walks by this shelf, and like a teddy bear falls off the shelf, and he just goes, because like Fatal Frame tenses you up so much that like anything that happens, you're like, "Oh God, no, what?" And that's how I felt during the first Fatal Frame. I was like, "Oh man, this is so fucking frightening." It's oh,
like you
man,
don't want to keep playing, but you do at the same time.
yeah, it's such a good game. I haven't finished Fatal Frame 2. I started it a while back, but then, you know, I got caught up in all the PS3 games. I'm sure that 2 and 3 will probably up on the store. I know there's a fourth Fatal Frame that was only on the Wii in Japan. I wish I could play that. But listeners, definitely check out Fatal Frame because it's very scary. It's old school, fucking frightening. Another game that I want to mention before I forget is Siren. I don't know if you guys have ever played Siren, but it's very much kind of like that. Not like it's scary like Fatal Frame. It's not like exactly like Fatal Frame.
Yeah, I played the demo. That game's a lot of that fear comes from the fact you have the ability to look through the eyes of an enemy. So be like, oh, where's this enemy? Oh shit, right behind me. Yeah.
I actually played the first couple because it's like 15 episodes, I think. On they remade it called Siren Blood Curse on PS3, and I bought all 15 episodes, but I only played like the first 2 or 3, and then had to free up some space. But one day I'm gonna get back to it. Controls not perfect, but still, I'd say kind of still worth a play. No trophies though, unfortunately. But yeah, Fatal Frame is a great game. Your only weapon is a camera. It's very, very good, very tense. Definitely play it. I'm sorry that I got on that tangent, but that is a very good game, and I wanted to share that. Okay, Tom, what did the European store get?
So for our free games for PlayStation Plus, we have Virtue's Last Reward. Does anyone know what that is?
I don't know what that is. Tell me more.
It's a game on the PlayStation.
Good enough.
Yeah. There's a 20% discount for Guacamelee for the first 2 weeks on Plus.
Bitches.
And that's also available this week on our store to cross-buy for $9.99. Let's see, and there's an announcement today that on the 1st of May, Hitman Absolution will be free for PlayStation Plus. So
every time, like I just bought this game. This is awesome, and then Europe's like, "You just bought this game. You get Europe's getting it for free." It's like, well,
so let's see. We got and outside of Flask, we have International Snooker. Sounds amazing.
I don't know about all that.
That's for $4.99, so $4 or $5, I suppose, not too bad. We have Ninja Gaiden 3's Razor's Edge with bonus for $29.99. So that's a bundle, I guess. And
Virtue's Last Reward is a is a PS Vita adventure game where you use your it's like first person view, and you tap the screen to basically play the game. So it's pretty interesting.
It seems like if you have a Vita, you never need to buy a game if you have Plus. They seem to have every single game that's come out that's free.
And practically every PSP game.
Ah, there you go, sorted.
That Sony, please just kill it. Just let it die.
No, 'cause I guarantee the PlayStation Vita will be have so much functionality of PlayStation 4.
Oh no! I'm talking about the PSP. Just let that. Just let that die. I mean, come on, why are you
pirated
giving us
and bootleg to hell? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a firmware where we could just play use it as an emulator.
Here's a game no one will buy or play. Here's Rugby League Live 2.
Oh,
Man Rugby.
$39.99. Well,
Oh, snap.
yeah, no one will play that. And Table Mini Golf for £1.59. And that also sounds crap, but it's cheap enough.
Table mini golf?
Yes.
That sounds fucking tight.
That's like ping pong with mini golf. Why is it? Surely mini golf's already mini. Why does it need to be table mini golf?
Let's take mini golf and make it even smaller.
There was I don't know if you guys read Penny Arcade. But I think it was last week, there was a comic that they did where Gabe was talking about golf, the golf games. And he said I don't, like, golf doesn't really change much, so I don't know why we keep getting a golf game every year. He's like, at some point, it's like, you can't get any more golf beer. He said, I have the comic right here. It's basically, like, there's no visual gag, so it's just him laying in a hammock, just kind of musing. His dialogue says, golf hasn't changed a lot since the 15th century, so I don't know. Maybe we don't actually need a new golf game every year. I mean, at some point you just hit terminal golf, and you can't get any golfier than that.
Grass physics. You could do a special sim thing where you go home and cheat on your wife and all sorts of fun things.
He also adds, and they make you recreate your golfer every time. It's like an MMO where they kill your character every 12 months. So, I'm in agreement. I don't think that, like, you really need a golf game every year.
That's the same as arguing you don't need a new Call of Duty.
Well, you guys clearly have not seen the awesome trailers where Tiger Woods and Arnold Palmer are just kicking ass with their trophies.
Oh, I saw it. I watched it.
Since when did everyone just forgive Tiger about all this sexaholism?
Did you see that Nike ad? It was pretty bad.
Nike ad where it's just like his father like berating him, and it's just silent.
No, there's one where it's pretty bad. It says winning takes care of everything. It says, and that's real. It was like, oh no.
You're like, no. No, it doesn't.
Fine.
It does not.
Like,
don't lie to me, Nike.
Like, it's okay, Tom. If you cheat on your girlfriend, just win at a sport, win at an organized sport, and you'll be fine.
Just win a golf tournament, man. It's all good, you know.
She'll be like, you know what? I just remembered that you have money, so it's all good.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's rough. Really bad. Are we ready for the news, guys? Are you guys ready?
I think we are ready.
My body is ready.
My body is ready. Jesus Christ, Reggie. Okay, I'm going to kick it off with This Week in PlayStation. First of all, I have something that I want to share with you guys, and I got to find it because I saved this image because it made me laugh so hard. And I'm not sure if it's real, but first of all, let me say, EA, Electronic Arts, won Worst Company in America for the second year in a row. Mm-hmm. So, big round of applause.
Did you see their response to that?
This is what I'm about to read. I believe, and I'm pretty sure it's real, but it was on Dorkly, so I know that they make a lot of satires. But I'm pretty sure this is real. It's very facetious. It's from Peter Moore, COO of EA. I'm going to read this to you guys. He says, "Well, you got us, consumerists. We are the worst company in America. Worse than Halliburton, worse than ExxonMobil, since, as everyone knows, releasing a bad SimCity game with iffy support is far more horrible than poisoning entire communities' groundwater or spilling 300,000 gallons of crude oil in the middle of Arkansas. Thank goodness you let a bunch of nerds angry about the ending of Mass Effect 3 decide that poor video game development is a worse corporate crime than literally causing the deaths of untold numbers of wildlife and irreparably destroying the environment. Great call. It was truly an honor that the final contest was between us and Bank of America. I mean, I can really see the similarities between the two companies. EA makes mediocre video games. Bank of America committed mortgage fraud, and that has cost taxpayers billions of dollars. It's like we're twins. Of course, we came out on top because, quote, Dragon Age 2 felt rushed is way more terrible than illegally foreclosing on the house of active duty members of the military. Also, DRM, we belong in Guantanamo for that. Now that we've won this award 2 years in a row, it should send a strong message to us that we need to change our ways. You know what wouldn't send that exact same message, except in a much more explicit manner that would absolutely force the bosses to listen and make lasting changes to the way we do business? If consumers actually stopped buying our games. Nope, that wouldn't work at all. But an internet poll overrun by Reddit and 4chan, that'll definitely make those corporate overlords stop cashing in with Battlefield 4 and new Madden games and start making Grim Fandango 2. In summary, we are the worst, but we are super glad you have some perspective, Internet. Peter Moore, COO.
That was awesome.
To be fair, he just acknowledged so he's aware of the problems this company.
Oh, he's aware of the problems.
These other companies, it's just one bad here. He could put it down to bad luck and just bad management. This is 2 years in a row.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm joking.
But,
I think it is a bit silly, but I mean, the people who got poisoned by water are going to be less vocal on the internet than games, which are being stifled by the internet, like SimCity.
Oh, yeah. It's a ridiculous call, honestly. I mean, but it is. These polls are run by the internet, and the internet is littered with gamers.
Yep.
And so they're the ones that are really voting on this. It is a very ridiculous poll, though, and that letter just shows that, like, look, they think it's ridiculous, but Peter Moore also knows that, like, yes, we can do better. We know what our problems are, and we understand that. But to name us the worst company of the year, or the worst company in America, that claim doesn't fucking hold water. All right? And it doesn't. Like, look, I think that EA has questionable methods and whatnot sometimes. The SimCity debacle, I didn't like Dragon Age 2's demo, so I didn't really get it. All that stuff that was mentioned in the letter. But far from worst company in America. That's my opinion on it. Do any of you guys have any other opinions?
EA is literally Hitler.
I agree with you, man.
Yeah, and you also have to remember that, like, I've mentioned this before. I know that a couple of you don't agree with me, but I honestly did not think that the Mass Effect 3 ending was that bad, and that was before I saw, like, the extended cut. So
yeah, but they promised that your decisions mattered, and after 3 games, and then you reach that ending, and like, oh wow, like it literally goes, here's these 3 options, you chose this one. Here's a 2-second cutscene at the end. What?
I'll say it was a little disappointing, considering, all the time we put in. It wasn't nearly as bad as the internet made out to be. But, I mean, okay, I'll admit, like, the extended cut definitely made it a lot better in my eyes. But yeah, it wasn't like, the failure of a century or anything as the internet made it out to be, But, yeah.
No, not at all. No, I didn't think it was that bad. I understand what the problems were. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it merited all that backlash. Like, I think it should have, like, ended at, like, just a quick voice of concern. Like, look, I didn't really care for this ending. Because you got to remember something, guys. And this is an opinion that IGN's Colin Moriarty has shared with the populace. Is that it's not your game. It's EA's game. It's BioWare's game. They're perfectly well within their rights to make that decision with their narrative. So, a whole bunch of whining and complaining, it wouldn't have done a whole lot. You got your extended ending, but, I mean, what else can you really ask for? It's their game. It's not yours. If you want a different ending, write one or, make your own game is all I can say. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next story, unless there's anything else that you want to mention for EA.
I'm good.
Okay. This one's a bit of some sad news. Sega Studios Australia is set to close later this year. The studio's most recent game was London 2012, which I don't even remember. I guess I just don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of Sega Australia, because they also mentioned that they did Medieval 2 game. I don't think it's I don't know if it's the Sudan Medieval, but anyway, I don't know. Regardless, it's very sad when any studio has to shut down. This news comes a little over a year after a restructure that saw about half of the studio laid off after a shift towards the digital marketplace. It's very sad when any studio has to shut down. Like I said, I don't know much about Sega Australia. I don't know much. I don't have any experience with them, but still, regardless, it's very sad, and we wish them the best of luck in finding new jobs. If anybody has anything to say, just well wishes.
Good luck. I mean, there's a lot of people out of the job at the moment as well. Remember, LucasArts gone as well.
Oh yeah,
So, just hope new studios form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rough economy out there, and it always sucks when somebody loses their job. Moving on, Bethesda's Pete Hines says that Doom 4 was not up to par with the quality that they believe the series deserves. He said, "So you know what I'm going to do? This is not an exact quote, I'm paraphrasing. He's like, I threw everything away.
Threw it on the ground.
I threw it on the ground, and I said, we're starting over. We're retooling it for our next-gen system. So we're going to probably see Doom 4 on PlayStation 4. But as a result of this, they needed more people. Rage 2's development has been canceled because the team working on it has been brought in to help with Doom 4. So no Rage 2 for you guys.
Oh, Rage didn't sell at all for them, did it?
No, I didn't play. I didn't play Rage 2. I saw Rage 2 get played, but
You didn't play Rage 2? I don't think anyone has yet.
no, I had a friend that played it, and he really enjoyed it. But as far as I had seen it, I was like, the best part of this so far is fucking John Goodman, isn't it?
Do you mean Rage 1?
Yeah, Rage 1. That's
what Tom was laughing about.
Yeah, but
Whatever, shut up!
yeah. But he's only in there for a limited amount of time.
I've
Which
got
is-
the game, but haven't
which-
played
Yeah,
it.
I played it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, eh.
As someone who beat the game, and it gets so ridiculous near the end, and it just becomes like a corridor shooter.
Yeah.
Bethesda is the master of getting big VO star or big stars to do VO,
Yeah,
and then just get it over with real quickly.
Sean Bean,
So
So mean.
Liam Neeson. Patrick Stewart's got to be the worst offender for that. Oblivion, his tutorial.
Well, he was also in Castlevania Lords of Shadow. That was pretty extensive in that, too.
wait. Did you guys just say the name I thought you said? Did you guys just say Lord Eddard Stark of Winterfell?
I did say Sean Bean. He plays Martin in Oblivion, doesn't he?
He does.
Oh
And
my
then-
god, I have to play this game now.
Yeah, he does. Sean
I've
Bean plays Martin, and
He's
Patrick
got a
Stewart plays...
potato face and he
kid.
goes around going, "Oh."
I've had Oblivion for like 3 years now. I now have a reason to play it.
Not to mention,
Just to
you
hear
know, all
Sean
the-
Bean's beautiful voice.
Not to mention all of the fucking voices and, Fallout 3, Ron Perlman, Liam Neeson, Felicia Day was in that, I believe.
She was in New Vegas.
Yes.
Oh, she was in New Vegas, that's right.
Well, like,
Matthew
New
Perry was
Vegas.
in New Vegas too, wasn't he?
Matthew Perry, Zach Levi.
What?
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
ridiculous. So they had a few big
there was
stars
someone
in
else.
Skyrim as well.
Chris Christopherson was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was, yeah.
What's Mr. Vegas himself was in it?
I can't remember who was who in that game. I never played it, but I do
Hell,
remember
they
that
even
game.
had Admiral Saul Ty himself, Michael Hogan.
Oh.
Seriously,
Well,
so many great voices. Thing is, it says a lot when you play Fallout 3, and there's it's pretty clear once, like when you get out of the vault and everything, that the two big guys are Malcolm McDowell and Liam Neeson. People who you run into like pretty much at a midpoint and later
Yes.
on at the end of the game. Yet with Fallout New Vegas, all these people you're just running into, and so well voiced. Like, I mean, you don't meet Wayne Newton himself in the game,
Yeah.
but it's so worth it. It's just such a good game.
Yeah, I like New Vegas.
Yeah. I will play Doom 4 if they get Dwayne The Rock Johnson to be the voice of the protagonist. As
Doom
long
4
as
must have been terrible, though, for Bethesda to go, nah, it's not good enough. I mean, they've released Brink and bloody...
Oh, man, Brink.
I mean, as long as Dwayne The Rock Johnson says in that game, Semper Fi, motherfucker.
Semper Fi,
BFG, big fucking
motherfucker.
gun.
That
That's like the best line of that entire movie. It's just like when he just like walks into the room, looks around, and goes Semper Fi. Short pause, and then motherfucker.
Yeah.
man, that movie was so awful.
Oh, man.
So not a very good movie.
Hey, at least it wasn't made by Uwe Boll.
That's
Oh,
true.
God.
And man, that whole first person part was just
God.
trying too hard.
Yeah,
Hey,
apparently.
gamers, check this out. This sucks.
Oh, I haven't seen
It's like
it, so-
remember the games?
Yeah, apparently
Fast forward.
that was actually written in first person too,
Yeah.
according to IGN,
Oh. Jesus Christ.
and I am not surprised.
There are no concrete details as for regarding release for Doom 4 because as I just said, they're retooling it. So there's no idea when that's going to be done. But
Can I make
this
a prediction?
week, go ahead.
It will be, it will be as if the first game was, or not the first game, the third game was basically if the first two never happened.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the third game was basically
A reboot.
a reboot, or like kind of like Doom 1, only with more story. So,
Well, no, it was Doom.
and on Mars.
As if Doom 1 and 2 never happened.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call this out right now. Doom 4 will be exactly like Doom 2 Hell on Earth.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Like, Doom 2 is a good game.
A fun fact. One of the guys who wrote Doom wrote The Expendables.
Have you ever read any of the Doom books? I read the first one. It was called Knee Deep in the Dead, and it was not very good at all.
I was gonna say they made Doom books.
Oh yeah. The main character's name was Corporal Flynn Taggart. They called him Fly. It was not good at all. It was. I don't know why I stuck with it, but I did. Anyway, like I said, no release date. But this week we did get a lot of release dates for different games, and I'm going to hand that over to Tom.
Transition! Namco Bandai confirmed that their new RPG, Tales of Xillia, is that right?
Yes.
Is headed to the West. The game will be released on August 6th in North America, but a European release date has not been announced. So, yeah. Vanillaware's cult classic Wii title, Muramasa. Is that right as well? God.
I think so, yeah.
Silly Japanese people. The Demon Blade is coming to PlayStation Vita on the 25th of June.
Before we move on,
yeah.
I was wondering if it was just me. Did you guys hear Tom say the release date for Tales of Xillia? Because he cut out for me. I don't know if it did for you guys.
6th of August, I'll say again.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, just in case. All right. So yeah, Tales of Xillia, August 6th, North America. No European release date yet. You did Vanillaware. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the Little Big Planet developers Media Molecule's new game, Tearaway, has been announced for October 22nd in North America and October 23rd in Europe. And the game will be available in both retail and digital formats.
Fun. I have no idea what any of these games are. I've never heard of Muramasa. I've never played a Tales game, so I don't know how to react to that.
No, I'd be interested to have a look at Media Molecule's new game. I haven't kept up with that. I've heard of it. I haven't actually seen anything for myself.
Yeah, I've heard of Tearaway. I also know the box is going to be the box art is reversible, so it's got both the male and female characters, the main characters of the game. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do that, that's what I saw that when I was writing that story up. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing more of Tearaway because I do like Little Big Planet. Go on.
Far Cry 3 DLC. I think it's also standalone. Yep. It's called Blood Dragon, and it's coming to PSN in May. It's also coming to Xbox. It is a standalone game, and will not need the Far Cry 3 to play, so that's always good. There's a post on Reddit at the moment where someone's pirated it on PC, but you can have a look.
It's apparently pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit weird. It's about aliens, I think.
Yeah, I've heard it's very weird and very crazy. On par with Saints Row kind of weird.
It seems they've missed a trick here. I mean, Far Cry 3, looking at the bloody levels, wouldn't it be amazing just to have dinosaurs to hunt?
Right.
T-Rex, Velociraptors, all that stuff. I don't know, it seems a perfect fit, but why not aliens? Capcom has delayed Lost Planet 3 to August 27th in North America and August 30th in Europe, almost exactly 2 months past its original June 28th date, which was announced a month ago. So It's a bit scary they delayed it only just after they announced it. Exactly.
I never played Lost Planet. I played the first two demos. Wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah, I played Lost Planet 2 as an online demo, I think, and it was pretty boring. So
yeah, I wasn't a fan. There's big news coming up.
Well, depending on how you look at it.
Depending on how you look at it. But it's going to be our topic of the week. And
topic of the week?
Alan, I want you to intro it. Why don't you tell us the news stories, and then we'll start our discussion.
Warner Brothers announced Batman Arkham Origins for basically the current gen systems. It's not being developed by Rocksteady. Instead, it's being developed by Warner Brothers Games Montreal. The game takes place about 7 years before Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about Black Mask putting a bounty on Batman's head.
Exciting.
Luring 8 of the world's deadliest assassins to Gotham City on Christmas Eve to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
Which actually, it does seem pretty... That does seem like very interesting. And the one the one assassin who's been highlighted everywhere is Deathstroke the Terminator.
Yes, Deathstroke is on the game. It's Batman Arkham Origins is Game Informer's cover story this month, and on the back of the cover next month. I apologize. On the back of the cover, the front of the cover is Batman lunging forward. On the back cover is Deathstroke. Deathstroke is the one that is being highlighted. I'm glad that you know more plot details, Alan. I didn't know about those, as you can see. But that sounds really exciting. I guess it's a little more. I made the joke yesterday that it's basically Batman Year One, but I guess it's a little bit more than that.
Well, it's going to feature a young, unrefined Batman encountering them for these foes for the first time.
Yeah, remember they were careful to say it's not Batman's origin story, but it is like when he's like pretty soon after he first became Batman.
Yeah, he's still starting out.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, the Justice League, one of the things that may have been thrown around was this may also be like his first meeting with the Justice League.
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. So we might see like Superman, Wonder Woman, and all them?
Or my personal favorite, Flash.
Flash, yeah.
Flash is a great character.
But don't worry,
yes.
Jim Gordon is back.
Penguin.
Penguin is back.
Yep.
Oh, maybe not Batgirl. Maybe it's before Batgirl becomes Oracle.
That'd be good as well. Yeah.
I love Batgirl. Barbara Gordon is my favorite DC girl.
Mm.
Former Arkham City villains will appear younger and healthier. So, for those of you who played Arkham City, you noticed that the Penguin had a glass shard in his eye.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And the bio said it was just from not a fight with Batman, but a fight with some other person.
Well, he won't. He's not going to have that. He's going to be perfectly fine this time.
Yeah.
And
he used the bottom of a bottle that was embedded in his eye as a monocle.
There's also Black Mask. You see him at the very beginning of Arkham City. He's been arrested, and
which is a little bit of an Easter egg because no one really paid attention to it.
I didn't see that either. I got
you fight him in one of the Robin challenge maps.
Yeah, in one of the DLCs as challenge maps. Yeah,
I believe it's the train one, right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, there's that one, and there's a Predator map as well where you can see him overlooking a room.
And I know for a fact, I definitely know this. I have a feeling it's definitely going to happen. I know Deadshot will be in this game.
Oh, sweet, yeah.
Because
awesome.
It says 8 of the world's deadliest assassins. Deadshot is practically the best assassin there is in the DCU.
I would just say he's on that list.
Going back to Black Mask as well, if you've seen the screenshots, his face isn't yet merged with the mask. So it's before that happened.
There are screenshots of this game? I haven't even seen this.
There's a few. Yeah, there's one with...
Yes. Why don't you send me a link real quick?
I can't find them again, but I'll send you in a second. But so it's Black Mask before he's had the mask burnt onto his own face. So.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be like the Penguin. You'll see that happen in that game, possibly.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm very excited for this game. Also, there was a little more news. A little more Batman news.
It is not the only game there is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Along with Origins, Warner Brothers announced Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, a sequel also dated for October 25th. It's being developed by Armature Studio and is described as a 2.5D Metroid-style exploration action game.
Mm-hmm.
And
I have no idea how to react to that because I don't play a lot of Metroid.
Just want to say the story takes place. It takes place also several years before Arkham Asylum, but it takes place after Origins. Yeah,
it's a sequel to Origins. I don't know how soon after or anything, but
it's coming to PSP and PS Vita and 3DS. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a handheld. It's interesting. I think I'd play it, probably. Man, that all just sounds so awesome. And listeners, that is going to be our topic of the week this week. Batman Arkham Origins. I'm excited for it.
Can I just finish up retracing my steps a little bit back to Arkham Origins?
Well, I was going to say that we would continue that, yeah. But I thought I'd just lead us into topic of the week since we're going to be talking about it anyway.
Okay, then.
If
On
that's
to topic of the week we go.
If that's all right. No, fine. I'll just go back. I'll just take it away. And be like, give me your show.
Eric Holmes.
Just go home.
Eric Holmes, who was lead director on Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Destruction, and Prototype. He's going to be the creative director. So Paul Dini isn't really involved in this game, which is a real shame because he knows how to tell a Batman story.
Paul Dini is a very good writer. He wrote most recently, I think, the most recent stuff that I've read from him, I should say, is the first few issues of Gotham City Sirens, and he wrote Streets of Gotham for a while.
Yeah, he's also, but he's now over at Marvel.
Oh man. Well, all right.
Yeah, he's working on the Ultimate Spider-Man show.
Oh.
Which actually is not that bad.
No, I've heard it's pretty good. I've heard it's good. Anyway, we're talking about Batman.
Batman.
I take my show and then you fucking throw it off the rails with Spider-Man. Come on now. Listeners, I'm excited for this. I know that Alan's excited for it because we're both big into comics. I'm sure, to a degree, Tom and Nate are excited for it because
I'm pretty freaking excited. I love Arkham City, man.
Fucking Batman. So,
I've got the platinums for both Arkham Asylum and City, so yeah.
I don't understand you. I think you sold your soul, or you made some kind of deal because you're just a machine. Because
no,
I don't.
Obviously, I'm actually Batman. So
I don't understand. I'm so bad at these challenge maps that I'll never get those platinums. I want them, but I'll never get them because they're just so hard.
Yeah, some of them they're ridiculous.
I mean, and not just the Predator challenges, but the combat challenges as well. You gotta have a flawless combo. You gotta use all the moves.
You gotta be on point, for the entire thing.
Yeah, it's just so hard. Anyway. I'm excited for Arkham Origins. I think it looks amazing. Tom sent me these screenshots. I don't think that. I don't know if they're. Well, yeah. I guess
some are. They're obviously
a few of them look like promotional artwork.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Especially the last two definitely look like just doctored in game stuff.
Yeah, but this looks fantastic. And that's what we're going to talk about today, listeners. We're going to talk about Batman.
Yeah.
That's, I wish we could do this every week. But
Batman, first created in 1939 by Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
No children, video games.
Batman is one of my favorite superheroes, next to Iron Man and Booster Gold. See now, you guys are just so quiet. I'm like, I have no idea where I should go with this. Where am I going? Oh God.
Oh, I don't know. Just start off with what do we think about the developer change?
I actually saw a story this morning where Rocksteady was like, we are so excited to see what Warner Brothers Studios Montreal does with Arkham Origins. They were giving them their blessing, basically.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I like the theory that they're working on Arkham Origins, that Rocksteady can work on a next gen Batman game.
That's what I'm hoping for. It's
Yeah.
either that or they might be told to work on a new Superman game because obviously Warner Brothers are going to be pushing that franchise next with Man of Steel.
Now we were talking about a Superman game yesterday in our staff chat, which actually led to me telling off Zach Davis because Alan made another Smallville joke, and Alan, of course, you know that.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying anything.
Alan knows that while I don't like Smallville, I'm not judging him or begrudging him for watching it. You like it, and that's fine. I just like to give you a hard time of it because I'm not a fan. I don't think it was very good.
I like the blonde lady. That's all I got from Smallville.
I liked his friend in high school. Was she blonde or was she redhead?
Blonde, Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was really cute. But
Also, again, sorry, going back to Batman. They sort of passed off the flame or torch, if you will, because WB Games Montreal worked with Rocksteady on the Wii U version of Arkham City.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think it looks like it's the same engine as well, so I think maybe that game was a test run.
Yeah, Arkham Origins is going to be on Xbox, PC, Wii U, and PlayStation 3. So, it's going to be all around.
But yeah, if you look at the screenshots there, I mean, just the character designs look very much like the ones in Arkham Asylum and City.
Yeah. Anyway, we were going a little forward about the Superman idea. We were talking about it, and Scott Peltz mentioned that if you want a successful Superman game, it would make sense to make it more like Telltale's The Walking Dead, where it's more story-driven than action-based. Because it's, Superman's a tricky character. He can do pretty much anything. He's damn near invincible. So, it's not fun to just beat the shit out of people, like, with no real challenge.
Well, you know what's going to happen. It'll just be like, here are some robots, and they all fire kryptonite bullets, and then every enemy's got kryptonite shields with kryptonite swords and kryptonite guns.
I was thinking about this today, and one of the ways that they could do it is sort of do the Batman Arkham type of thing, where instead of it being like comics Superman, it'd be like Superman the animated series Superman. Because if you remember, that Superman was actually, he got his ass kicked a bunch of times.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't really the Leviathan that he is now.
Yeah.
He could be killed without kryptonite. If you just beat him up hard enough, he would die. So if they made a game, or as Scott put it, a game where he's developing his powers, it wouldn't be something like
kind of cool.
It wouldn't be, and that's why I said Smallville, because that was essentially what it was. It was him developing his powers. He wasn't
plus a whole lot, plus a disturbing amount of kryptonite poisoning.
Yeah. But after when they got past that, it ended up he got his ass kicked a lot by Zod, what's his face, Doomsday.
Not to mention, all those races he had with the Flash. He can blink pretty fast. I'll give you a hard time. But yeah, I agreed with Scott. I thought that a very story-driven Superman game would be a fantastic way to go. But obviously, a studio's not going to do it. They're going to be no, these players want to see Superman kick ass. That's what they want. So we'll probably never see that kind of game. But Anyway, we were talking about Batman a while back.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Batman.
Do you think they'll change the combat system? They can't, surely. It's a staple of the series.
I doubt they'll change the combat system. It's pretty much perfect the way it is.
Yeah.
So perfect, in fact, that Sleeping Dogs mimicked it. So...
When other games start copying your combat system, you don't want to change that.
You've done it right.
Yeah.
I doubt they'll change the combat system. I'm really excited for, these characters. I think Black Mask is a very intriguing character. I also like Deathstroke. Actually, when people might not know this about me, I think I've mentioned it once or twice. I'm an aspiring filmmaker myself, and years ago, I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago, a friend of mine, also interested in film, we used to make shorts that we put on the YouTubes that I don't think are on there anymore. But they were our faux studio was called Deathstroke Productions.
Nice.
So, I think the Deathstroke is really cool. Slade. I'm really excited to see where this game goes, and I'm wondering, obviously Deadshot is probably going to be a part of that. I'm wondering who these other assassins are.
Deadpool game coming later this year. Wade Wilson.
Oh my god, I want to play that Deadpool game so bad. It just looks like so much ridiculous fun. Oh my god, it just looks like Saints Row on acid.
Oh my god.
This looks so awesome. Anyway, as far as other characters though, fellas,
I'm hoping for co-op.
Co-op.
I think that would be a really cool concept if, you could do a challenge map with a buddy, one person would be Batman, the other person would be, Robin or Catwoman or something, and just beat the hell out of a bunch of dudes. Or Batmite. Or Batgirl, or Batdog.
You can have something like it's a combat challenge while one person distracts a big thing, which is basically a combat challenge while the other person takes out enemies with hostages.
The Dr. Freeze boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So considering that Arkham City had a total of 4 playable characters, I think co-op's a pretty logical, next step as far as the challenge mode and all that stuff goes. I think it'd be really cool. I think it'd open up some really cool combat possibilities. As great as the combat system already is, I think co-op would just make it better.
We also have to consider though that this is a prequel, a very
that's true.
7 years. It's possible that there is no Robin at this point.
Yeah, that's how I was thinking. Is this before Robin? Is this before Nightwing? I'm pretty damn sure it's before Nightwing, but is it before Robin?
It's possible that it's before Robin, which would make it before Batgirl, which would make it before Red Robin, which would make it before Oracle, and all those.
And
Nightwing.
Jason Todd.
And Jason Todd, and all 4 Robins. It would be.
But also, to be fair, the challenge modes wouldn't really have to stick to the story because
this is true.
In Arkham City, Nightwing was a character and he wasn't even part of the story. He's not in the story at all.
No.
He's mentioned in one of the Riddler things, but you never actually see him.
I mean, I remember you could in Arkham City you could buy Nightwing challenge maps.
Or get it with the Game of the Year edition. That's something you can play. And he had all sorts of unique moves and.
Yeah,
he did.
Which makes you think, why would they put so much effort in for a few challenge maps?
Especially they didn't even bother to give him a voice, which was come on, give me something.
Because the Harley's Revenge DLC came out after that, and I was like, wait a minute, they put Nightwing in the game, but they didn't put him into any of the story aspects. He wasn't in a Harley's Revenge, he wasn't in the base campaign. You're right, he was just in the challenge maps, and that felt like a wasted opportunity.
Fun. Yeah. It's a shame. I'd love to. Dick Grayson is a great character, and I'd love to see him get represented a little better in the games. But it doesn't look like we're going to get it this time around.
Yeah, in the story.
I would like to see though that this is at least after he gets Robin, even if it's young Dick Grayson. I'd love to see like a little Robin in there.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they do it right because in Arkham City, when Tim Drake showed up, he was a bit of a dick.
I quite liked his character.
He was all right.
He acted like he acted kind of he acted a bit like Jason Todd did back in like the 80s.
Well, this isn't like young Tim Drake.
Well,
Remember
he was just arrogant, kind of arrogant, but then Batman's just like, go away, you're a bitch, I'm amazing.
I don't need your help. And Tim Drake,
Exactly. Like completely.
Tim Drake, when he got older, he was kind of like Dick, where he'd kind of make jokes, or he'd be like, he'd be like, it's kind of the same with all Robins. As they get older, when they're younger, they kind of respect him, except for Damian. Damian was always kind of a prick, but kind of prick,
you're forgetting Jason Todd was a bit of a dick too.
Jason Todd was a dick.
That's why fans voted to kill him. Like 80% of fans voted kill him. Beat his ass.
And then DC brought him back anyway. They're like, "Fuck you. Your vote counts for shit."
Fun fact: him and Bucky came back on the same day.
Wow, look at that.
So eerie.
Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, coming out next year. Anyway, spoilers. With Dick and Tim, there's a similarity where when they were young, they really kind of looked up to Bruce. They thought of him. They really respected him. They looked up to him. They had their silly like jumping around, hopping around, making jokes and whatnot when they were fighting. But they always treated Bruce with a lot of respect. And as they got older, they still did, but they felt more relaxed. They felt like they could make more jokes around him, kind of tease him a little bit, with his dark nature and whatnot.
Well,
I think that
Tim Drake found Batman. He found Batman himself because this was around the time right after Jason Todd died, and Batman was working alone and just going completely off the edge. And it was basically Tim Drake who brought him back.
Yeah.
So each of the different Robins have had a different thing either different like rapport with Bruce.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Or each Robin's very special.
Yeah.
In their own way. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, like Tim was essentially he truly was Robin Jr. In that he was or Batman Jr. He was the detective. He was sidekick, but still a detective. Dick Grayson was the
Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder. Damian was batshit crazy.
Damian was the son of Batman, and spoilers, Talia al Ghul. And he had those two warning. He was kind of like Superboy in that respect, because Superboy is his DNA is comprised of both Superman and Lex Luthor's.
Which means that Superboy has two dads.
Yes.
I'm conscious we're getting a bit away from the video game at the moment.
God damn it, Tom. Why you gotta get in the middle of our comic talk?
Well, I'll let you talk for that time.
It's a conversational show. Anyway, yes, Damian has those two warring parts in his mind. If you ever read, who wrote that? I think it's Scott Snyder. No, I don't think it is. I gotta look it up. What was I saying? Oh, there's a Batman and Robin book that I got for my birthday. That's written by. I'm like running to my other room.
You mean the one written by?
Where all my comics are kept. Tomasi. It's called Batman and Robin: Born to Kill, and it's pretty much when Bruce and Damian first teamed up. Damian it's very hard to kind of see where Damian is coming from, because he's got both Bruce and Talia in him, so it's, he's got an instinct to kill, but Batman's like, hey, you can't do that, all that. It's very tough, but it's a great book. Anyway, the game.
Yeah. Do you mind if I run down some of the features that have been announced so far?
Oh yeah. No, please go ahead. Let's get back to the game.
Warner Brothers Montreal is adding Remote Claw, which allows you to target and pull two objects together.
Ooh.
Yeah. You can fast travel via the Batwing.
Ooh.
But
Now that's exciting.
and they're pulling something from Far Cry 3. You have to disassemble towers that jam the ability to call the Batwing. And it's going to take pretty much everything you have. It's going to be like the Big Daddy fights from the first Bioshock. It's going to take pretty much everything you have to take down these towers.
Yeah.
Cool.
The game is going to feature a new island called New Gotham to build upon the more familiar Old Gotham. It'll still Amusement Mile and the Bowery will still be in the game.
Yeah.
And there's going to be side missions such as Crime in Progress, where you assist the GCPD and build your rep. And Most Wanted, where you track down non-assassin villains. And it'll provide upgrades to Batman's arsenal.
Ooh.
I wonder, this isn't going to be taking place in a kind of an Arkham confined area, so does that mean we'll see civilians?
It's just going to be Gotham City. So.
Yeah, that's the main parts of Gotham City and New Gotham. Does that mean there'll be areas with normal people? Will they be like, yeah, it's Batman? Like, have you ever played the PS2 Spider-Man game?
Oh,
yeah.
That game's amazing, don't get me wrong. People are like, yeah, Spider-Man! And Spider-Man can't, like, really terrible one-liners, but that was always funny. But,
the game also put more emphasis on Batman's detective skills.
Yay.
Allowing players to investigate crime scenes, gather evidence.
I mean, as if we didn't have enough.
Yeah.
It's like.
Well, if they improve it, because the problem with the other Arkham games is just press L2, wait for the dialogue to stop, then press X on the really obvious yellow thing, and it's just like, it's not really detective. But if they did something like Condemned 2, where you have to actually...
Condemned.
Well,
Condemned was so good with their detective work.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if they had that detective mechanic, something similar to that, but with Batman gadgets, I think that'd be really good.
You can analyze data and even return to the scenes of the crime with more information later in the game.
Okay.
That sounds interesting.
And this is interesting. Over time, as each case is solved, a full video narrative of the case will unlock, piecing together the crime.
That's cool. So kind of like CSI when they can learn more facts.
Yeah, that's very
There's that really awful stuttery video, and like,
It's really interesting. I'm excited for this game.
Also, and what you said about the Batwing, that suggests the game's going to be a lot bigger.
Yeah, they said it's like 2 times the size of Arkham City.
It'd have to be to justify a Batwing, surely.
Hopefully it's not too big, because then that'll just be too difficult. Unless you just want to go 60s Batman, you just have Bruce walking down the street, as if nothing's not a care in the world.
Just wearing tights. No armor. No armor, just tights.
Yeah.
And they have to make the Riddler riddles really terrible and awful.
And have the Riddler be just creepy.
And then, like, if Robin is in the game, you're just like, what do you think, Robin? Golly gee willikers, Batman!
We can't save them, Batman. They're drunks. They're drunks, but...
Gee willikers, Batman!
It was always Holy something, wasn't it, in the 1950s or 60s? But sure.
Holy Nightballs, Batman!
I wish I could remember. There was... I heard a scene, listened to a different show, and they were doing... they were talking about an old 60s Batman.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it?
I've never actually watched it.
They used to air it daily. I used to watch it just because it was so bad. But it was kind of meant to be tongue-in-cheek, just mess about.
That's what they did that on purpose. It was supposed to be satirical.
It was really good. But there was also a movie, which I've seen as well.
Oh, God, that movie
it's actually amazing.
Yeah.
It's like, Robin, hand me the shark repellent bat spray. Like, okay.
And
So,
just
hey,
everything,
that's just a
every
inflatable
single,
shark.
yeah, I love it. Every single thing started with that.
I have to send you something later, but I have a bookmark because they make the riddles in that series are hilarious. Like they're just what like conclusions they get. It's unreal. Nothing makes sense. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting. Like I said, I was listening to a show, and I just don't. I wish I could remember because they mentioned something about like how ridiculous like they figured something out, but I can't remember what it was. Damn. Okay. Does anybody else have anything to say about Batman Arkham Origins besides how much you're excited about it? Because I'm excited.
I'm
excited too.
Yeah. All right then. Well, then I guess that means it's time for the community section. I put out a beacon for the listeners. I said, hey, listeners, if you want to ask us some questions, we'll answer them on the air. And as a result, nobody asked questions. So, kind of disappointing, but actually checking our official Twitter, making sure nobody tweeted at us. But usually we get it through the Facebook. But no, nobody did. So we're just gonna move on to our community question of the week. Last week's community question, listeners, this is where we ask you guys a question for a change. We answer it ourselves first, and then we throw it out to you guys to see what you think. Last week's community question, we talked about LucasArts closing down, and we discussed our favorite LucasArts game. We only got one answer. Joey's one of my friends, Joey, said Dark Forces for PS1 was his favorite LucasArts game. I don't know what that is, so I can't comment on it. Like I said last week, I don't have a lot of experience with LucasArts. But before we move on, Nate, you weren't here last week. Did you have a particular favorite LucasArts game that you'd like to share with us?
It's probably a tie between. I really liked Shadows of the Empire for N64.
Yes.
That game sucked up so much of my life back when N64 days. The protagonist, Dash Rendar, he's kind of known to be sort of a weird goofball character in the Star Wars universe. Not many people take him seriously, but I actually really like him. He doesn't really have much personality in the game, but in the book, he's a really cool. He was basically meant to replace Han Solo because Han Solo is in Kryptonite because it takes place between the second and third movies. Mm-hmm. And I really just dug him as a character. I thought he was really cool. I thought it was fun to play as him. I thought the game was just really fun. And you went to all these different planets and locales, and you fought all these Boba Fett and all these other big boss characters. I thought it was a really fun game, really cool. Definitely one of my most played N64 games ever. Plus the Battle of Hoth level where you're in a freaking snowspeeder. That's one of those levels you can just replay over and over and over because it was just so fun.
I watched that on YouTube just periodically, and every time I see it, it's just it's so good. Why can't this get an HD remaster?
Yeah, seriously. I also like the Jedi Knight games. Kyle Katarn and all those. Jedi Academy is really cool because you can make your own character and choose your own lightsaber style.
What's going on?
Jaden Core.
The man who built his own lightsaber.
Yeah, oh god, I was Mary Sue. But yeah, no, I think it's a tie between the Jedi Academy and Shadows of the Empire, probably my two favorite LucasArts games. Plus, I like, Rogue Squadron and all those other ones too, but those are definitely my two top favorites.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Let's see. All right, well then that's our last week's question. So this week's question in tune with our topic of the week. I thought I'd ask you listeners, which characters do you want to see in Batman Arkham Origins? I think we discussed it ourselves, but if you want to go around the room real quick, kind of reiterate. Nate, characters.
Okay. For the challenge modes, because it's not tied to the story, I would love to get to play as, the old
Batman and Robin.
Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Catwoman, maybe. Batgirl, definitely cool.
That would be very cool.
Maybe even play some villains in the challenge mode. I think that'd be kind of a cool concept.
Yeah, they did Joker in the
I remember they did Joker
Asylum,
in
so
yeah,
I could see that happening.
I think it'd be cool to play as Joker. Maybe play as Deathstroke. I think that'd be really neat.
That would be neat, yes.
For the story, I wouldn't mind seeing Joker show up again, even though it wouldn't be Mark Hamill. I mean, who the hell gives a shit? Like, I'm sure other people
I
think
give a
Joker
shit.
is good. Okay.
I hope that at this point I'm more concerned. I hope Kevin Conroy is Batman again.
Yeah,
that's true.
If they don't get him, then
it could make sense though, because he'd be younger in this game. So
that's actually true.
Yeah.
But as for Joker, I mean, I'll admit, I'll miss Mark Hamill. He was great, but I'm not as up in arms over it if he does not play Joker in Arkham Origins. If Joker's even in Arkham Origins, but which I hope he is. Aside from Joker, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure whichever villains. I'm sorry, Scarecrow. I hope Scarecrow's in it.
Scarecrow is a great villain. His parts were the best parts of Arkham Asylum.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. I was really bummed when he was like not in Arkham City. I mean, he was mentioned, but again, you never actually saw him. Yeah. I hope he shows up again in Origins. He's definitely one of my favorite Batman villains. Yeah, that's about it.
What about you, Alan?
This one is more of a prediction.
It's ruining the game.
You're gonna hear it here first.
As I already said, I'm predicting that Deadshot is going to be in the game because he's one of the best assassins in the DCU. One of the other
Deadshot was also in Arkham City.
One of the best, or not one of the best. He's good. Is the Dark Archer?
Yes.
Because he was trained by the League of Assassins.
Ooh.
And
exciting.
And just because they're tied to, like, Dark Archer is tied to Green Arrow, it's fine because, like, they brought in Mad Hatter, who's part of he's a Flash villain.
Yeah.
So they're really not tied to anything, and if the Justice League does make an appearance, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But I want to see Flash. That's all I want.
You want Flash in there.
It could even just be him, like you see like an Easter egg where you're fighting and then you just see the red and yellow speed by and like attack, like help you out somehow.
I'd love to see just an Easter egg of, like, let's say you go into the Batcave and there's like Jay Garrick's helmet in there.
Or the dinosaur.
Yes. Or the penny.
Oh my god, the penny. Batman. People who do not know Batman are like, what the hell are they talking about?
Do you have any others that you want to check out?
There's a Killer Croc could be in the game.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen him.
I would not be surprised at all if I think that Joker could actually make that work.
You could do a nice backstory with Joker, and you could see the beginning of Harley.
Oh yeah, Harley Quinn, yeah.
Because Joker he's not really one to answer to like bounties. He hears about them and just comes in.
Yeah.
So they could do like, they could bring in the guy who was Joker before Mark Hamill, Tim Curry.
Oh man,
he ain't doing anything.
Cesar Romero.
But there's just so many people there's just so many people in the backlog of DC villains that they could bring in that you wouldn't even think about, or you couldn't even think.
I mean, that's why I'm looking forward to the future of Arkham, the next Arkham game set in the future because of the Azrael tease and the Hush tease.
Oh, yeah.
Both of those I really want to see.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of bummed that this is a prequel, because I want, like, the Azrael and Hush stuff in Arkham City. I was like, wait a minute, I want to see, like, what happens with that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Hush is one of my favorite villains. He's one that I wish would be in the game. Honestly,
Hush is he? Because that was his origin. Well,
yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't his origin.
It wasn't the origin, but I mean the origin to his.
It was where he really where his story kind of really took a crazy turn. I would love to see a nod to him, like Tommy Elliott.
That'd be cool.
But I'd like to see Firefly, maybe Killer Moth, smaller villains, you know.
Ratcatcher.
There, like you can find his gloves in a vent.
His hat in one of the vents in Asylum. Yeah.
Lockup. I'm actually looking up some names like for ideas. Lockup is kind of a good one. I don't know if you guys know this one. Lyle Bolton is a man specializing in incarceration and high-tech security systems. He was discharged from the police academy for being too gung-ho and dismissed from several security jobs. The animated version had worked at Arkham Asylum. He once set up a private prison for costume villains.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. I saw him in the animated series.
Man-Bat would be an interesting character to see.
Yeah, I like that in the animated series as well.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice little side mission, I think.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be in here. But Prometheus, I've always wanted to see a showdown between Batman and Prometheus, because Prometheus is really the antithesis of Batman. He's really like the other side, because everybody knows, fucking like 60-year-old spoilers. Batman's parents were killed by a criminal in an alleyway. Prometheus's parents were criminals that were killed by a cop. So, he's kind of like the anti-Batman, you could say. Unfortunately, we won't get to see Red Hood. Maybe Solomon Grundy. Maybe, like I said, I like to see smaller characters get the spotlight. Maybe Tweedledum and Tweedledee, or ventriloquist, or Humpty Dumpty. I believe there was a
Scarface.
character. Yeah, Scarface.
Also, there's kind of there is one character who, again, this is another sort of prediction. There's one character who it's gonna be, if they don't put him in, it's gonna be very, very bad for them. Raish.
Raish on
Ruining my segment. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he's pretty much. He's when you think assassin and Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul, he's pretty up there.
I mean, that was a really good part of the city as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if they have that storyline with Ra's al Ghul and Talia, I think if they introduce Talia in Origins and all that, and I think that could even help the Arkham City, like tie into the Arkham City storyline and just make that more effective. But yeah, I want to see the ventriloquist and Scarface. I mean, there's been references in both games. I mean, even in Arkham Asylum, Joker he has Scarface on his lap, messing about with it, and then chucks it across the room. But I also want to see like Alfred because this is a kind of not his origin story, but
we haven't actually laid eyes on Alfred.
Yeah, like you hear his voice, we never actually see him.
Yeah, he has bigger role in Arkham City. He talks more in that game, but
yeah,
I think I'd like to see more of Alfred and also maybe Lucius Fox. Like maybe you can actually visit him and get your tools. But you might have to be Bruce Wayne and pretend.
That would be neat. I'd like to be able to switch back and forth.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Who else? Tom, I don't believe you've actually, discussed.
No, that's what I was saying for a few of these. I also might want to see, the Poison Ivy origin. That could be part of the side missions. And
She was great in the first game. And also in the,
Catwoman stuff.
Catwoman.
I thought that
Catwoman
was
stuff.
kind of naff and City.
I mean, it's very much Gotham City Sirens, which was also written by Paul Dini.
Yeah. It was she was a really hard boss in the original and the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
Stupid flower. But yeah, I think I'd see a lot of the supporting characters like Lucius Fox and Alfred would be nice. And like you said, Batwoman.
Yeah.
And depending on whether they can get, because Mark Hamill said he wasn't coming back, but if they can get him back, I think that'd be good to see.
I mean, he truly did stick to that. I mean, he's not in Injustice.
Yeah, but, I mean, he was in DC Universal Line Universals beforehand, so, but then...
Wait, is Kevin Conroy in Injustice?
I can't tell. I mean, his voice... I've played the demo, and, you can play as Batman, but I don't know if that's Kevin Conroy. It sounds a little like him, but I don't know for certain if it is him.
It is him.
It is?
Yeah, I just Googled it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. I love Kevin Conroy. I mean, I love Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises. I enjoyed the first two Batman, the first Batman movie, and the second Batman movie was Batman Returns is kind of ridiculous. Batman Forever, there's a soft spot because that's the first one that I really kind of grew up with. Batman and Robin is just a travesty.
Fun fact.
But before you go ahead, I wanted to just say that Kevin Conroy will always be Batman, always and forever. He's just that is the voice of Batman to me. I just think he nailed it. Anyway, I'm sorry, Alan. I was stepping on you. Go ahead, please.
Fun fact: Sinestro is being played by Booker DeWitt himself, Troy Baker.
Troy Baker.
Oh, shit, really? Damn.
Troy Baker is like the younger version of Nolan North. They're both fucking everywhere.
But they've actually got George Newbern, they got Susan Eisenberg, they got Phil Lamar in this. They got Anna Baldwin, Alan Tudyk. Hell, for God's sakes, they got Green Arrow himself, Stephen Amell, in the game.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But then again, this is Warner Brothers. They can do anything.
Anyway, so listeners, that's for you. What characters do you want to see in Batman Arkham Origins? You can talk about Batman characters specifically, Batman villains, maybe Batman allies. You can, or you maybe want to kind of touch on that rumor that maybe there will be some Justice League appearances if you want to throw in the Flash like Alan did. In the meantime, while you listeners think on that, that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for listening to VGU.TV's PlayStation Podcast, The DualShock Show. Rate and subscribe to our show on iTunes under DualShock Show. 5 stars. Maybe even leave us a review. Please visit our website, VGU.TV. Hang out on our forums. Find us on the Facebooks. Tweet at us at VGU.TV. You can also find us on YouTube at VGU.TV Official, where you can also find this podcast in video format. DualShock also has a Facebook and Twitter. You can find us at DualShock Show for both. That's all one word, DualShock Show. Or if you want to tweet at us individually, Nate is at Nate Hole. That's NateHohl. Alan is at the Alan Muir. That's TheAllanMuir. I am Mattman07. That's with 2 T's, in case you're wondering. And Tom is at Gaming Hobbyist. This is a PlayStation show. We all have PSNs. So if you want to play on the PSN with us, Nate is Opposed Crow. Alan is that Jew boy with an I, that Jew, B-O-I. I am Mattman310. Again, two T's, just in case you're wondering. And Tom is Pie_Guy. That's Pie Guy, the guy with the pie. Thank you again. Thank you, Nate, for being on the show. Thank you, Alan.
No
Thank you, Tom. Thank you again, listeners, for listening to DualShock, and we'll see you next time. Never stop playing.